We live in a world that's just brimming with possibility, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the system itself, you could argue, is inherently abundant.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, so often we feel this internal sense of lack. It's strange.
It really
We've
is.
somehow created these little pockets of scarcity. You
Mm-hmm.
see them in our minds, definitely in our social structures, even in relationships. And we've kind of bought into it.
We have. We've accepted it as the default.
But that doesn't mean it's actually true, does it?
Okay.
So today we're doing a deep dive. We're calling it Decoding the Abundance Code.
Okay.
We want to uncover why we often feel this way, and maybe more importantly, how to unlock a mindset of true abundance, like real expansive abundance.
Yeah.
So our mission really is to pull out the most powerful nuggets from, well, a whole stack of sources we've gathered to kind of guide you through this shift. It can be profound.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really isn't just about getting more stuff, is it?
Not at all.
It's more fundamental. It's like a reevaluation, shifting from just, well, surviving to actually thriving.
Thriving, yes.
And our sources really dig into how understanding these, let's call them deeper currents of abundance that are always there, how that understanding can just transform your whole experience. It's not just about what we have. Ultimately, it's about what we are.
Okay, let's unpack that.
Yeah.
Maybe starting with what our sources call the scarcity trap.
Yeah.
Because from a pretty young age, we get these messages, right? These foundational ideas that kind of steer us towards lack.
Constantly.
Think about it. That constant drumbeat of try harder, faster, smarter, better.
My lowest cushion.
And the societal thing, like you must go to college, you have to get a degree if you want to succeed.
Right, that specific path.
And just that relentless push, work hard, keep working. Often, like, without much actual joy in it.
Yeah, one source even mentioned the advice, do what you're good at, not necessarily what you like.
Well, yeah.
Which subtly teaches you to value external validation over, what actually fulfills you inside.
That really hits home.
And a key insight from the sources is how deeply this whole play the game by the rules and win thing gets ingrained.
Yeah.
These messages, often just inherited without question, they cultivate what's called a survival brain.
Survival brain.
Yeah, It's constantly whispering, it's me or them, that feeling.
Right. Zero-sum game.
Exactly. And that can lead to hoarding, competition, basically living a life motivated by fear, greed, jealousy, envy, all that stuff. It's striking how many people the sources find end up not enjoying this process at all. They feel not home in their own lives, even if they've achieved what everyone else calls success.
It makes me think of, that childhood game, musical chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. Right. You start dancing, it's fun,
Yeah.
music stops, mad scramble, someone's out, then they take another chair away,
The pressure mounts.
and suddenly you realize, hang on, there aren't enough chairs. So you stop really dancing, you're just kind of hovering, watching the chairs, getting close, just in case.
Calculating.
And when it stops, boom, you dive in. Maybe shove someone you actually like because you need that chair, that feeling,
Yeah.
that lesson in lack.
Yeah.
Our sources argue that gets baked in when we're like 5 years old, competition, scarcity, learned through play, and it just sticks.
That is such a perfect, almost, painful illustration. And the sources really elaborate on how powerful that early conditioning is. By age 10, apparently, most of us have already formed these really deep concepts about who we are, what life's about, often totally unconsciously.
Oh, age 10.
Yeah. Think about family money beliefs, like the classic, money doesn't grow on trees.
Heard that one a few times.
Right. But they're not just sayings. They show up in extreme behaviors. Our sources had these vivid examples, like one person's parent avoiding the little twist tie on a grocery bag just to save like 1/100th of an ounce.
Seriously. A twist tie.
Driven by this deep belief in limitation. Another one talked about a parent whose budget accounted for every single 13-cent stamp painstakingly. These aren't just quirks. They're the direct result of these deeply ingrained scarcity beliefs, often unconscious.
And the toll that takes. It leads to this profound sense of unfulfillment, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
We heard these really compelling personal stories that highlight this. One person described being horrendously uncomfortable working on Wall Street, never saw the sun, felt this rumbling in my soul,
A deep dissonance. Yeah.
Totally. Another talked about struggling in their 20s, feeling depressed and lonely while friends seemed to be succeeding effortlessly, just constantly worried about money, even though they believed it shouldn't matter.
That's a common one.
And these stories really hammer home a point from the sources. If you live by other people's standards, chasing those external metrics, you're almost setting yourself up for feeling like a failure inside, feeling empty.
And what's fascinating, or maybe predictable, is how this unfulfillment often leads people to seek what the sources call immediate gratification, distraction.
Coping mechanisms.
Exactly. Coping mechanisms. We see the example of someone self-medicating with junk food, too much TV, just numbing out, even gaining over 200 pounds in 11 years.
Wow.
And it's not a coincidence, the sources point out, that entertainment often booms during tough times, like the Great Depression. People use it to avoid facing the underlying problems.
Right, escape.
Yeah, but here's the crucial distinction the sources make. While those distractions give you easy, temporary relief, they almost never lead to real wisdom or transformation.
No, they just keep the cycle going.
Exactly. They perpetuate avoidance instead of getting to the root of the discomfort.
So, okay, we've got all this deep programming, this scarcity trap. How do we even begin to shift? What does this mean for us?
Well, the sources identify this really crucial turning point, and often it starts with a question, a really simple but profound question.
Which is
this it? Like, really? Is this how it is?
Uh-huh.
Because this place of constraint, this competition, this scarcity, it's not actually much fun. Isn't there a better way? When that question truly bubbles up from deep inside you, that rumbling in the soul you mentioned,
Yeah.
that's when the quest for abundance really starts.
The quest begins. I like that.
And this raises an important question for you, listening right now. What would bring you the most joy and happiness in your life, independently of what anyone else says you should want?
Cutting through the noise.
Exactly. And the sources emphasize that the answer to that inner question, it acts like a nonlinear guide, a kind of internal compass.
Okay.
It intuitively leads you to the right people, the right places, the right situations for your next step. It's uncanny.
So you have to listen for it.
You have to listen. And the more you consciously listen to that inner questioner and actually act on its guidance, the sources say, the clearer and more confident its voice becomes. It guides you through what looks like a maze, but it's actually your perfect path.
And that's where awareness becomes just absolutely critical, right?
Crucial.
It's about seeing the pattern, seeing that loop of feeling trapped or drained or stuck on what the sources call the hedonic treadmill.
Ah, yes, the hedonic treadmill. Good one.
For anyone unfamiliar, that's basically how, you get a promotion or a new car, whatever. You get a temporary happiness boost, but then you adapt really quickly.
Becomes the new normal.
Right, and then you're chasing the next thing. And this constant striving, the sources show, is a key driver of that scarcity mindset.
Absolutely.
So just recognizing those patterns, consciously stepping back, that's the first huge step to breaking free.
And a really striking thing the sources highlight is recognizing your power of choice, even in the face of, well, seemingly catastrophic events.
Like what?
Well, we hear about the person who was almost on Flight 93 on 9/11.
Wow.
And right after decided, that's it, I'm stopping living for someday. Just chose to fully engage with life right now.
Powerful.
Or another person witnessing 9/11 and then getting their mom's cancer diagnosis almost simultaneously.
Oh, man.
Their immediate question was, how can I help? Not despair, but action.
Yeah.
These huge crises, the sources argue, can be these incredible catalysts for change. They force you to confront what really matters, reevaluate everything, and often you find a strength you never knew you had.
And it's around this point, this is where it gets really interesting. Our sources share this truly transformative story about a 19-year-old kid. He describes himself as being on the wrong path, like heading straight for jail or worse.
Okay.
His life completely turned around when he met a mentor, a guy named Alan Brown.
Ah, the mentor figure.
Exactly. But Alan didn't lecture him. He just asked these incredibly powerful framing questions. Things like, aren't you aware you can make money legally?
Simple, but yeah.
Aren't you aware you can think differently? Aren't you aware you could upgrade your knowledge, your skills? Aren't you aware you can become more?
Shifting the focus to potential.
And by becoming more, you build confidence, certainty, and then you can have more, which then lets you give more.
Wow. That's a sequence.
Right. Those questions didn't just offer solutions. They unlocked a whole new way of seeing the world, seeing himself, changed his whole trajectory.
And that just demonstrates a profound truth from the sources.
Yeah.
Your past is an advisor, not a determinant.
I like that. Advisor, not determinant.
And crucially, your brain can change. Neuroplasticity is real. It's about being willing to, as one source puts it, stop telling your old story about money or whatever the limitation is.
Let go of the narrative.
Let go of the narrative and find your true voice instead, that innate potential you were born with.
Yeah.
And the sources aren't talking about like massive overnight changes. They really emphasize the power of micro commitments.
Micro commitments.
Or what they call 1% improvement daily. It could be tiny. Like consciously catching a scarcity thought, I don't have enough, and just rephrasing it, I have enough for right now.
Just for this moment. Yeah.
Or daily gratitude, holding a door for someone. These small, consistent shifts, the research shows, literally build new neural pathways for abundance, like building a muscle, but gently, consistently.
Right. It's not a quick fix. It's a practice.
It's a practice.
Yeah.
A deliberate process of shifting away from those old scarcity beliefs, one tiny step at a time.
And part of that practice, that shift, involves embracing what the sources call a not know-it-all mindset, or the beginner's mind.
Ah, yes. Crucial.
They ask this great question. What do you need to unlearn in order to be able to learn again?
Unlearning. That's key.
It's not about forgetting useful stuff, obviously. It's about releasing those assumptions, those preconceptions that might be blocking new information or possibilities.
Yeah, clearing the space.
Exactly. That openness, that willingness to just not know for a bit.
Yeah.
It creates this receptive space. And as the sources illustrate, the universe kind of responds. It brings you the teachers, the info, the resources you need.
When you're ready to receive.
Yeah. It's like being an empty vessel ready to be filled instead of being full of old ideas.
And if we connect that back to the bigger picture, think of it like a tree, a big, majestic tree. Our deepest beliefs, often unconscious, those are the roots. They anchor everything.
Right. Damn deep.
Our knowledge, our actions, what shows up in our lives, that's the branches, the leaves, the fruit.
Gotcha.
And the sources are super clear on this. If we don't go down into the roots, examine the roots. If we don't nourish the soil they're sitting in, make sure those core beliefs are stable, then we can't grow that tree properly. We can't access the abundant life we really want, you know? Just watering the leaves, just taking action without looking at the beliefs, it won't work long term.
Doesn't lead to a truly fruitful life.
Exactly. The real work starts under the surface, in the roots.
So, okay, we do that inner work. We cultivate awareness.
Yeah.
How do the sources describe life when you actually start embodying abundance? What does it look like?
Yeah.
Feel like?
They describe it as a completely different world, simpler, easier, more elegant, and honestly more fun.
Simpler and easier sounds good.
And it's not just a feeling. The sources show that living in abundance fundamentally changes how you make decisions.
Oh, so?
Well, when you're not driven by fear or lack anymore, choices become clearer. Actions feel more aligned.
Yeah.
And your path seems to unfold with this elegance. It really does feel simpler, more joyful, like you're flowing with a current, not fighting against it.
Ah, okay.
It becomes about creating the experience which makes life worth living, because you don't have that desperate need to acquire or prove something anymore. As one source put it so profoundly, we won already.
We won already. Wow. That lands.
And this brings us to what the sources call the great paradox.
Okay, paradox time.
You seek the thing that you already had.
Explain that.
The true grounding of abundance, they say, comes from returning to yourself, recognizing that at your core, I am love, I am already free, understanding that our essential nature is abundant already.
So it's not something you get, it's something you are.
Exactly. And that internal state, paradoxically, allows the external stuff, money, opportunities, whatever, to flow more freely precisely because you're not desperately attached to it.
Ah, the detachment allows it in.
It's a shift from striving to receiving, from chasing to attracting.
And the sources really emphasize the power of gratitude and appreciation. Yeah.
Hugely. For life itself, possessions, skills, and really importantly, the people in our lives.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating, and backed up by the research in our sources, is that gratitude isn't just a nice feeling. It's an active neurological pathway.
Really? How does that work?
Well, one study they highlighted showed that consistent daily gratitude practices, like Just 5 minutes a day literally rewired participants' brains.
Who hired them?
Yeah, to perceive more opportunities, more solutions, even when things were tough.
That's amazing.
That's a wealthy mindset, the sources declare. And when people adopt that way of thinking, the material things often just come anyway.
Yeah.
But they're not the focus anymore.
Right, they're a byproduct.
Exactly. Gratitude becomes recognizing what you already have, which naturally opens the door to receive even more.
That ties beautifully into the whole internal journey of self-acceptance too, doesn't it?
Perfectly. It's a profound shift, the sources describe.
Mm-hmm.
Moving from thinking I'm broken, maybe them blaming others, they're broken,
Yeah, no,
to finally reaching that realization, wait a second, it's me, but I'm not broken. I'm this bundle of potential and possibility that just hasn't been explored yet. It's about looking inside not to find flaws, but to find potential. Those inherent gifts we all have.
Yeah.
Every single person, the sources suggest, was born with everything they truly need to live the life they deeply desire. It's already in there.
And there's also that shift from being self-centric, or me first, as the sources put it,
Yeah.
to genuinely asking, how can I help? How does that play into abundance?
Oh, massively. That focus on giving freely, whether it's comfort, kindness, just your presence, sharing wisdom, it surprisingly leads to receiving more than we ever thought humanly possible.
Really? How does that work? Is it karma or?
It's described more as an energetic exchange. The sources talk about a distinct energy charge you get from helping others. A feeling of expansion, connection, that's a reward in itself far greater than just material gain. And it flows both ways.
An energy charge? I like that.
And this connects really nicely to the idea of discernment in giving. This is a nuanced point.
Okay.
It's exemplified by people the sources call truly abundant, who have nothing to prove. They're generous, yes, but with wisdom.
What do you mean wisdom?
Well, the sources caution that giving to someone who isn't really ready or willing to receive, it can actually weaken them, not empower them.
Oh, right. Like enabling versus helping?
Exactly, like constantly solving problems for someone who hasn't even tried themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Truly abundant folks, the sources observe, also have this healthy give and take. They offer help when things are great, but they also have the humility and wisdom to ask for help when things are tough for them.
Completes the circuit.
It completes the circuit of generosity and reception, fosters real connection, not dependency.
The sources also talk about the importance of community, right? Finding your new village.
Absolutely vital. As one source puts it so well, you can't do life by yourself, but you can't do it alone.
Yeah, that hits.
Mastermind groups, for example, are shown as these really powerful ways to create positive change in wealth, relationships, self-esteem, just by working together to unpack limiting beliefs.
Strength in numbers.
Yeah, it's about surrounding yourself with people who actually reflect the abundance you're aiming for. People who celebrate your wins and, crucially, lift you up when you stumble.
Finding your tribe.
Finding your tribe. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources redefine power.
Okay, how? Not like forcing things.
No, not forceful pushing. It's more like an internal state of being, an acceptance, an openness that lets things flow responsibly out from you and allows you to receive openly in.
Can you give an example?
Think of a nervous speaker. If they shift their intention from, I need to prove myself, to simply, I want to share this valuable information.
Oh, yeah. Different energy.
Totally different energy. It transforms their experience and it transforms the audience's experience, makes it transcendent sometimes.
Right.
That internal shift moves you from striving against something to flowing with it. And that flow is the essence of abundance.
Embracing this whole journey, though,
Yeah.
it often involves what the sources call a dark night of the ego.
Right.
Right? Not the soul.
Yes, that's a crucial distinction. The soul is inherently abundant. But the ego, that constructed self-image we build based on external stuff and scarcity beliefs.
Yeah, the mask we wear.
Exactly. That often needs to be challenged, maybe even feel crushed, to make space for real self-discovery.
So it's not in despair, it's necessary shedding.
Necessary shedding.
Sorry.
Letting go of limiting identities and beliefs that just don't serve you anymore, it creates this powerful opening for breakthroughs.
Okay.
And critically, the sources emphasize that having a sense of humor through all this is vital.
Laughing at yourself.
Laughing at yourself, like the Dalai Lama, always laughing. Or that great Paul Newman quote, always take the work seriously, never take yourself seriously.
Huh. Love that. Okay, so bringing this all home,
Yeah.
how do the sources define abundance in just practical day-to-day terms?
They give these really beautiful, tangible examples. It's things like letting someone go in line in front of you without even thinking about it,
Simple.
not panicking about the time, seeing someone else succeed or reading about it and genuinely thinking, that's great, and I can have that too.
Instead of jealousy.
Right. It's saying a kind word to a stranger, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, all right, we're okay.
Self-acceptance.
Feeling freedom and movement in your body, not tightness. Feeling joy instead of fear. Feeling free instead of caged.
That feeling of freedom. Yeah.
Ultimately, after you strip away all the external definitions, the sources circle back to this powerful truth that just resonates through all of them. You are abundance.
You are abundance. Wow. So this whole deep dive really reinforces that this journey from scarcity to abundance, it's fundamentally internal, isn't it? It's about challenging those old inherited beliefs, peeling back the layers of conditioning, and just rediscovering your inherent potential. It's kind of like unlearning what you thought was true so you can remember what you already are.
Beautifully put. And when it comes to the tangible stuff, like money, the sources offer this final, really potent perspective.
Yeah. What's that?
It's just a symbol. Money is just a symbol. Its highest purpose, they argue, is to purchase life experiences on this earth plane.
Experiences, not just things.
Experiences, and to be given away generously, not hoarded out of fear.
Right.
And the fundamental truth repeated across the material is, this is not a challenge of abundance that the world doesn't have. It does.
The world is abundant.
It's a challenge that we ourselves, collectively in our consciousness, haven't shifted into an abundant mindset. It's a distribution issue, really, born from scarcity thinking, not an actual lack of resources. The abundance is already here. It's just waiting for us to really see it and embrace it.
Okay, so given everything we've unpacked today, from those subtle scarcity traps to the expansive freedom of abundance, here's a thought to leave you with. What one small micro-commitment will you make today? Something to step just slightly out of your comfort zone and allow a little more of your true abundance to flow.